Hi there and welcome to Wander and Frame. Today I'm greeting you from sunny Turkey, and today's episode will be quite different from the previous ones. Join in! In this video you will see me meeting my friends who I haven't seen in years, befriending all cats of Turkey, behind the scenes photo session from a ditch turning into beautiful pictures, my attempt to film underwater for the first time, celebrating 2 birthdays including my own, and some other moments from this vacation in Turkey. Join in! I arrived on Thursday evening, a day before my friends would arrive. And the following morning I had some time for myself before they came. So I decided to go for a run. But shortly after I realized that jogging in this heat is basically a death wish. Luckily I brought my bank card with me, so I was able to buy some water on my way back to the hotel. And this was the best water I've ever tasted in my entire life. Finally, I found salvation by the pool, and this is where I spent a good chunk of the day before my friends arrived. It was really fun meeting them again after many years of not seeing each other. Ola, the little girl in these videos, aka Bride, is my childhood bestie. She and her husband live in Russia, and the other couple, Ksenia and Carlos, they live in Brazil. And I live in Norway, so for all of us it was quite convenient meeting in Turkey. That first night was also Dima's birthday. It's Ola's husband, and we celebrated it in a restaurant. The birthday party was going so well that somehow Ola and I ended up on the stage singing karaoke. That's because she really loves singing and she needed some support.
we're ready to do some exercise.
Muscle up. In the evening we had a photo session, like engagement style or honeymoon style, whatever you want to call it. It was supposed to be on the beach, but the beach was so crowded that day, we decided to change the location. And since we didn't have much time for location scouting, I just found a nearby ditch and took some pictures here.
Vereceğim, onlar yemek yiyecekler. Stop. Sizin foto stop. Başka orada çekin de burada sonra yemek yiyin. Anladın? Okay? Gel.
И теперь сзади потихонечку. Even though photos from the ditch turned out beautiful, it would stick with me for the rest of the trip. And every time we would see some kind of trash place or something like that, my friends would start mocking me and telling me like, oh, this is your location, let's go. And then we went to that overcrowded beach. And since I had my action camera with me, inclusive the underwater case, I decided to do some filming underwater. It was very difficult for the couple to dive and stay underwater while trying to pose, because the water was so salty, they would just float. So when we came back to the hotel, we just got an idea. Since we all were wet anyway, we decided to continue underwater session in the pool. Here it was easier to dive, but at the same time we were struggling with the light because it was late in the evening, it was dark, so the only light source would be the light in the pool. The quality of the pictures wasn't too great because I cut them out from video files, but I think with some practice I can make it work much better, so yeah, I'm positive.
Shouldn't you also be filming them underwater?
I was doing that, but I decided I was actually done with the underwater filming, but then I saw it from the top and I was like, yeah, I need this. So, yeah. Okay, let's go for the other one. Там еще одна. Привет, кошечка.
Hey! Lemon, hey!
On the day 3 of our stay in Turkey, we rented a car in Antalya airport and drove to Cappadocia.
Our restaurant.
Yes, today's restaurant featuring cold fries, ketchup, mayo, and the sunset. Driving to Cappadocia was supposed to take about 6.5–7 hours, Somehow we ended up spending about 10 because we wasted a lot of time at the airport where we had some troubles at their rental car service.
Кисенька не рада.
Все, она радостная такая, прямо прекрасная пара. Таня.
We arrived at a nice and authentic hotel about 11:30 at night, and it was a shame not having too much time to spend here because I really loved the room and I really loved the facilities here. At 1 a.m. I was helping the bride to get her hair done. Well, because that's what best friends do, right? And at 5 a.m. we were out of the door, ready for their wedding photography photo session at sunrise here in Cappadocia. I'm gonna make a separate episode of this behind-the-scenes footage from their wedding photography session, but I'm just gonna show you a little bit. After breakfast, bride and groom went to bed to catch some more sleep, and I and Xenia and Carlos went on exploring Cappadocia a little bit. Cappadocia truly feels like stepping onto another planet, full of surreal rock formations, valleys and hidden caves. The town of Göreme, laying in the heart of Cappadocia, is surrounded by ancient rock-carved homes and churches. Many of them were carved by early Christians as far back as the 4th century, turning soft volcanic stone into an incredible underground world of history and culture. We wandered through these caves, and it's wild to think that people actually lived here. If you ever have a chance to visit Cappadocia, I highly recommend going for it. It's a place you will never forget. Next morning we woke up early for a sunrise calisthenics session. That's the only time of day where you can actually work out without getting a heat shock and dying. Carlos is a professional jiu-jitsu instructor, and it was really fun to do a workout together with him. Today I wanted to figure out why was it so difficult for my friends to dive and pose underwater. So I decided to check what all the buzz is about. And I did some practicing diving and underwater swimming and see how I can improve the technique for the next underwater photo session if I ever want to do it again. But yes, diving alone was okay, and trying to dive together with someone and make some nice poses is definitely much more difficult. What surprised me about Turkey in August most is that the heat never goes away. It's like 40 plus Celsius during daytime, and it doesn't cool down for the evening. In the evening you can get maybe plus 32 and it's pretty hot.
Happy birthday, dear Tanya. Happy birthday to you.
Carlos, you can be our bartender. Just serve the drinks. How do we start? Although we weren't allowed to swim in the pool anymore due to safety reasons, we were allowed to continue party by the pool, so we did that. It was our last night here in Konyaaltı, and we wanted to have fun. Good night. In Oslo airport, I accidentally met a familiar face, my ex-husband. He was also traveling and flying back to Alta on the same day, and it turned out we had the same flight. I told him I need a donkey to carry my backpack that was very heavy and I had sunburned shoulders, and he was nice enough to help me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my travel to Turkey. I'm not quite done. I'm gonna show you more in the next video. Stay tuned and see you soon. Bye!